Darkness. Suffocating darkness. It enveloped you like a thick, oppressive blanket, making it hard to breathe, hard to think. The kind of darkness that seeps into your very soul, leaving you feeling utterly alone and helpless. The smell of stale air and something faintly metallic invaded your nostrils. It was a scent that spoke of neglect, of time passing without care. The metallic tang mixed with the musty odor of old fabric and rust, creating a nauseating cocktail that made your stomach churn. You felt a wave of nausea. It started in the pit of your stomach and rose up, threatening to overwhelm you. The confined space amplified every sensation, every discomfort, making it impossible to escape the feeling of sickness that gripped you. You were shoved roughly, your shoulder slamming against something hard. The impact sent a jolt of pain through your body, momentarily distracting you from the oppressive darkness and the nauseating smell. But the pain was fleeting, and soon you were left with nothing but the suffocating reality of your situation. Disoriented, you realized the truth that you were trapped, confined in a space so small and claustrophobic that it felt like the walls were closing in on you. Your mind raced, trying to make sense of what had happened, how you had ended up here. You were in a car trunk. The realization hit you like a punch to the gut, leaving you breathless and panicked. The trunk was cramped, with barely enough room to move, and the air was thick and stifling. You could feel the cold, hard metal beneath you, a constant reminder of your imprisonment. The air was thick with fear. It was palpable, almost tangible, wrapping around you like a vice. Your heart pounded in your chest, each beat echoing in the confined space, amplifying your terror. You could feel the fear coursing through your veins, making your hands shake and your breath come in short, ragged gasps. You were trapped, imprisoned in a steel coffin with no way out. The walls of the trunk seemed to close in on you, pressing down from all sides. You pushed against the trunk lid with all your might, but it didn't budge. The metal was cold and unyielding, a stark contrast to the heat of your panic. Panic welled up inside you, threatening to consume you entirely. Your breaths came faster and faster, each one more desperate than the last. You banged on the trunk lid, hoping against hope that someone would hear you, that someone would come to your rescue. But the only response was the echo of your own frantic pounding, a cruel reminder of your isolation. The steel coffin was your prison, and there was no escape.
Your heart pounded against your ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the silence of the trunk. Each thud echoed in your ears, amplifying the terror that gripped you. The confined space seemed to shrink with every heartbeat, the walls closing in, making it harder to breathe. You could feel the cold metal beneath your fingers, a stark contrast to the heat of your panic. Your breath came in short, sharp gasps. Each inhale felt like a struggle, as if the air itself was resisting your attempts to draw it in. The darkness around you seemed to thicken, making the air heavy and oppressive. You could hear your own breathing, loud and ragged, a constant reminder of your fear. The darkness pressed in from all sides, suffocating you. It was an all-encompassing void, swallowing every bit of light and hope. Your eyes strained to see, but there was nothing but blackness. The silence was deafening, broken only by the sound of your own frantic breaths and the pounding of your heart. The metallic scent intensified, now tinged with something else. Fear. It was a sharp, acrid smell that filled your nostrils, making it even harder to breathe. You could taste it on your tongue, a bitter reminder of your helplessness. The fear was palpable, a living, breathing entity that seemed to wrap itself around you, squeezing tighter with every passing second. Don't let it consume you. You had to find a way to push through the panic, to keep your mind clear. You closed your eyes, trying to block out the darkness and the fear. You focused on your breathing, willing it to slow down, to become more controlled. You had to stay calm, to think rationally. Panic would only make things worse. You had to fight, to think, to survive. You couldn't afford to give in to the fear. You had to find a way out, to escape this nightmare. You pushed against the trunk lid, testing its strength. It didn't budge, but you didn't give up. You scanned the environment, looking for anything that could help you. Every second counted. This terror, this primal fear, it was your enemy now. You had to conquer it, to use it to fuel your determination. You clenched your fist, feeling a surge of resolve. You wouldn't let this fear break you. You would fight with every ounce of strength you had. You would survive. No matter what it took, the darkness and the fear were formidable foes, but you were stronger. You had to be.
Breathe, think, survive, focus. Take a deep breath. Inhale, hold, exhale. Again, fight the panic. You need a clear mind to escape. Assess your surroundings. Feel around. What's in the trunk with you? Anything can be a tool. Remember, where there's a will, there's a way.
Your fingers brushed against something rough. A blanket? No, a tarp. Heavy duty. You pulled it towards you, feeling for anything else. A metal toolbox. Hope surged through you. You had to get out. You needed to see. Remembered reading about the trunk release. It had to be here somewhere.
The trunk release, your beacon of hope. You crawled towards the back of the trunk, your hands sweeping across the felt lining. There, a small plastic lever almost hidden, the emergency trunk release. Your heart pounded with a mix of fear and hope. You pulled it. Nothing. You pulled again, harder this time. Click, the trunk popped open.
No escape. Create one. But what if there was no release? Despair threatened to engulf you, but you shoved it down. Think, the taillights. You could smash one from the inside. Use the screwdriver from the toolbox. Break the light. Wave your hand through the hole. Someone would see. Someone would help.
The will to live. It is an innate force within every human being, a primal instinct that drives us to survive against all odds. It was your greatest weapon. In the darkest moments, when hope seemed like a distant memory, this will to live burned brightly within you, guiding your every action. You were not helpless. You were not going to die here. You would escape. You would live. Every breath you took, every heartbeat, was a testament to your unyielding spirit. This was a promise you made to yourself in the suffocating darkness. A vow that no matter how dire the situation, you would find a way out. You would not let fear paralyze you. The will to survive, it was a powerful force. It gave you strength when your body was weak, courage when your mind was filled with doubt. It was the fire that kept you going. Tap into it. Use it. In those critical moments, when everything seemed lost, you reached deep within yourself and found that spark of resilience. It was your lifeline, your beacon in the darkness. It was your greatest weapon in this fight for your life. And as you emerged from the darkness, you knew that this indomitable will to live had carried you through. It was a reminder that no matter how bleak the circumstances, the human spirit is capable of extraordinary feats. You had faced the abyss and come out victorious, armed with the greatest weapon of all, the will to live.
With the trunk open, you were met with the night sky. Stars twinkled, indifferent to your plight. You were hidden, but you had to risk it. You took the tarp, the wrench, anything reflective. You needed to signal for help, a passing car, a truck driver, anyone who could see you, hear you. The escape was just the beginning of a long journey. You had to be smart, memorize every single detail, the car, the abductor, the route. Every little detail mattered greatly. Your testimony could be the difference between someone else's freedom and their imprisonment. The price of your freedom was constant vigilance and awareness.
You are not a victim. You are a survivor. You stared into the face of death and emerged victorious. Carry this experience with you. Let it shape you, make you stronger. You are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Never forget that.